Hi, KOZ guys, KOZ family. This is TJ Graney, and this is your KOZ Raw. I'm at my desk at the farm, and I'm just keep reading over and over and over again 1 Corinthians. And I just love where he's talking about, brothers and sisters, consider your calling. Not many were wise from a human perspective. And he goes into this talk about how, people may not consider you, or you may think, or you may not be the guy with the scholarship certificates on the wall and just the background, but that doesn't mean that you're not wise, that Jesus doesn't use you for really incredible things, because he does and he will. And I'm trying to, I don't know why, but I keep going back to it. I'm reading it over and over and over again. And I'm just asking him, what is it, Jesus, you have? Anyway, welcome to this KOZ Raw. It's the last one before Father's Day. Father's Day is this week. And man, what an important week it is for men and boys and girls, for the world to think about being fathered. And you know that the world has been led, the human race has been guided by a fatherly influence since the beginning. You know, if you believe in cavemen and all that stuff, the men went out and clubbed on a brontosaurus or something and drug it back to the cave and took care of his family, you know, and he taught the boys how to do that. And the women scraped the brontosaurus skin and made, loincloths for the men or whatever. I don't know. But, and so often our boys are brought to church and said, hey, there's a heavenly Father that loves you and you need to believe in him. And a boy that's not been fathered well, or a boy that has no father, doesn't understand that. And it's going to do nothing but create rejection and confusion. And where he's going to learn about fathering is through the men who come alongside him in KOZ, the men in his life. And, I often think about, those single moms that raise their sons, and those boys come out and they come out on the good side. They make it. You know, statistically, it's a difficult one for them to make, but they make it. And typically there's a coach or a man or an uncle or a grandpa or somebody along that boy's trail that spoke into his life. I would say there's always a man somewhere along that trail or a group of men where he got pieces. For me, that's what happened. I was around guys on construction sites and guys along the trail, and I got pieces. And I saw things in some guys that I didn't want, character traits in some guys that I didn't want. So just know that Father's Day is important. It's coming up Sunday, and it may be a topic in your church. It may not be. But for your boys in KOZ, it's a topic. It's a real topic. And whether they understand it or not, just know that it matters to them in their hearts. So if you get a chance to say, hey, I was thinking about you, love having you in KOZ, and can't wait till we can go do something crazy, incredible, extreme again at the next KOZ. But I was also thinking, there's something that happens to KOZ guys. Not only does KOZ change the life of most men who do it, who put their hearts into it and really feel it, it'll change a man's heart because he encounters Jesus and the Holy Spirit in a way that he doesn't in almost everything else he does. And And I hear it over and over and over again. I have pastors tell me my men are not the same men. I hear wives tell me my husband's not the same husband. I hear it all the time. And but there's one thing that happens to KOZ guys, and if you're a KOZ guy, I want to warn you about this. Warning, Will Robinson, warning. That's a reference to an old television show. There is a magic word that you need to know. And it's a 2-letter word that will save you. And it's going to be so difficult. When I was first becoming a Christian, when I first really found a church, when I first really committed to church, man, I did everything I could. I said yes to parking cars. I said yes to stacking chairs past the basket. Whatever you needed, I got there early. I stayed late. I did everything. And man, I felt so wonderful. I was needed. I was useful. I felt part of. And I would tell any guy that if you go to a new church, go jump in, both feet, go do stuff, go serve, go participate, go be a part of. I got a buddy, Cecil, just kind of met him and moved into the neighborhood and saw him at church, saw him at the men's group, and I saw him participating in the home groups. And I thought, that guy knew what to do. He figured it out. You participate. But what happens to KOZ guys is when you start building this ministry and you start, you have to start peeling things off. You have to learn that 2-letter word, which is no. And you have to understand your bandwidth, because you're going to be asked to do all those things that you were doing, and you're going to not have the full bandwidth, the full ability, the full presence to do your KOZ with excellence and with everything that you are. You have to learn to say no. And there's several reasons for it. One is because if you're doing KOZ, if that is your ministry, if going after the unfathered boys in your community is your ministry, then invest in it. Read up about it. Understand the fatherless epidemic. Know the boys in your neighborhood. Know where they go. Think about how to get boys involved. Talk to the men in your church about it. Get other men involved. Talk to the churches around you and get involved in it. Wear a KOZ shirt. Have people ask you, well, what is that? Participate. All in. Go all in. If that's your ministry that God has called you to, go all in on it. But it's going to require you to say no. And people are going to come after you. Hey, can you help us with this? We're doing, we want to do this thing with the kids, and we need some help setting up this. And could you get all your guy? And you're going to be a top target because you do things. You do operate with excellence in KOZ, and they're going to want help because there's other guys that aren't stepping up. And you have to learn to say, no, I can't. I'm doing KOZ. That is my focus. And you can do some. Yeah, I got some of the KOZ guys, man. They put on a heck of a barbecue for the men's ministry once every quarter, or once or twice a year, man. They're the guys that show up, cook the bacon in the mornings, do the barbecue in the evenings. I mean, they're the workhorses because they know how to get it done. And the team, the church leaders know that, yeah, they're going to get it done. These guys we can count on. And so that's a good thing. But just be so careful. You have to start saying no. You have to learn no so you don't overcommit and try and be everything to everybody. And the second part of that, besides protecting you and who you are and what you're responsible for and operating in excellence in KOZ, you don't want to take the blessing from some other guy. There may be a guy out there who's like, man, do something. But he's not pressured because you keep picking up the slack. You keep going, I'll do it. I'll do it. Oh, let me go. No. Until the pressure gets on the other guys, until the folks have to start asking some other guys, well, hey, if you're not doing anything, can you help me do this? Because you'll take the blessing, you'll steal the blessing away from another guy because you just keep saying, yeah, I'll do it. And if you pass off, okay, well, I was making the coffee all these for the last 3 years, and you know what? I need to focus on KOZ, and I'm going to spend more time on KOZ. I'm going to hand that off and let somebody else have the blessing. Some other guy have the blessing. Or some guy who needs that to get that. And you just give it up. Quit stealing the blessing from the guys who need to say yes, but haven't been pressured to that point yet. So it's doing KOZ, operating in excellence, and learning to say no is a big deal. It's a thing. And it took me a long time to learn to say no, and to really, okay, if I'm going to say no, then what is it I'm doing for KOZ that's going to fill that time slot? What am I doing that's going to really continue to make a difference? Or where am I investing that time I'm getting? Maybe it's time with my wife. Maybe it's time with my grandkids. I don't know. But I need to have a conversation with Jesus about it and ask him, Lord, where do you want me to invest this time? How do I hand this off? How do I move to the next thing? Because you'll have 100 things you can do good, 100 of them in your lifetime. But you'll just have 1 or 2, maybe 3 that you can operate in excellence. 1 or 2 or 3 things that you're going to be able to do that are just over the top, bat out, killer things for Jesus. And that's where you make a choice. Okay, I'm just going to operate in excellence, or I'm just going to kind of kick the can around a little bit. So anyway, that was my thought tonight. And man, I've just been super tired recently, just dealing with so much stuff, having to go through so many things, and life is just so much going on. And I know that could be for you guys too. Life is hard, but man, don't miss the conversations with Jesus. Operate in excellence with your boys, man. What you guys do in KOZ is just powerful. And being that example to the other men in your church, to the men in your community, to the men and boys in your family matters. It's your legacy. It matters. So that's it. Hey, don't forget the HTL calls coming up. We got the HTL roundups this fall. Go on the website. We got a lot of new stuff. Man, deck your boys out in KOZ stuff. A lot of you guys doing summer campouts and river trips and stuff. Man, it's what you guys do is just spectacular. And we love you for it. If you need anything, man, call the office. Just call the office, 512-292-1113, and get somebody there to either help you or connect with Rick or me or one of the outfitters. We love you guys. We love you guys. And we know what you're doing. You're not doing this alone. Regulators, mount up. Oh, happy Father's Day.